And we are
And we are
Paha. So first, our education system as of today is without a doubt not fit for the future. Well, apparently, the educational system is continuously changing because first, economic. Well, countries constantly reform their educational system because, of course, we want children to be fitting with appropriate skills for their future profession or work. But apparently, kay sera-sera, the future is not ours to see. We don't actually know, for example, giyasasan tang mga maistrahunon education course. But we don't know nga in the future, basig teachers ma-replacean og mga robots completely. What if teachers in the future kay robot lang dapat? Second is cultural. We are in the middle of passing our cultural imprints to children, pero at the same time, we have to respond to the globalization. For example, perti tang tuon og Filipino language. Pero in the future, mong work day ka sa laing bansa, might be Korea, might be Japan. Asa man ipot atong pulo ka tuig nga tinuon sa grammar sa Filipino kung mag-in-check wakang lang daita. We then only pressure them with these talks about future. This makes the current education system not fit for the future. Thank you.
The education system is rooted in an industrial paradigm. The problem with the current education system is that it was conceived in the cultural context of the Enlightenment and the economic context of the Industrial Revolution. It emerged in the 19th century, which was the first time which compulsory public education, freely available to all and paid for by taxes, was established. The modern education system was originally founded on an us and them. Most people have not benefited from this system. In fact, Ken Robinson argues that the main effect is that it has caused chaos.
We medicate our kids to get them through education. A child with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder may experience difficulties in the classroom setting. For example, they find the most challenging throughout the day, sitting still, listening silently, and concentrating. These children are asked to perform the precise things that they find the most challenging throughout the day. Yes, most frustrating of all is that most of these children want to be able to learn and behave like their ineffective peers. The following tactics can promote your child's success in school and beyond by enabling them to enjoy learning, overcome academic problems, and succeed in other areas of their lives. So encourage your child every day and work with your child to create a system to help with homework and other school projects.
Concept 5. Shifting the education paradigm. According to Albert Einstein, in order for education to produce different results, we need to change our perspective in teaching and learning. Shifting the education paradigm introduces many interest conclusions that should stimulate us into thinking of better ways to engage and educate students. In shifting, we need to first destroy the myth that there is a divide between academic and non-academic subjects. Second, recognize that most great learning takes place in groups. Indeed, collaboration is an engaging part of learning because students are not just learning how to connect their ideas with others, but learn how to socialize and create teamwork rather than individualizing people, which separates them from their natural learning environment. And lastly, we need to change the habitual ways of thinking of those within the education system and the habitats which they occupy.
Divergent thinking is a necessary skill for creative thinking. It is the ability to see many different ways of understanding and solving a subject, to think literally and see many alternative answers rather than just one thing. A study shows which kindergarten children were tested on their ability to think divergently, and this shows that 98% of them scored at genius level. The same children were tested at age 8 to 10, but only 50% scored at genius level, and again at 13 to 15 were almost none scored at genius level. This study demonstrates two things. First, that we all have an intrinsic potential for diverse thinking, and second, that it deteriorates as children age. Let's take, for example, in India, where there is this what I call that educational system. In terms of chances and job opportunities, India's modern education system is quite restrictive. Alternatives available to pupils. In most situations, pupils' career paths are determined by their grades and what their parents think. In many circumstances, creativity is lacking since the decision is forced. Lots of things happen to these kids as they grow up, but the most significant thing is that they have been to school educated for lots of years, that there's only one answer and it's at the back, and don't look and don't copy it. This somehow restricts the divergent minds of students because this restricts their creativity to think of the alternatives because one answer can fit all.